All right, so I just want to show you how to start triangulation and looking at verifying codes, looking at verifying sections within codes, and comparing across different coders. So here's our home screen, home. If we go to codes, gives us stuff right here. If we go over to field experiences and hit this little icon right here, it says view code excerpts. Click on that. We now can just quickly go through and see this is what we coded within the text for field experience, which is our code. Going through, you can just quickly make sure that all of these really match what you think field experience is. We can look at it a different way and see for field experience, did we see this code across multiple people, or were all of these codes really within one or two people, or one or two transcripts? In this case, we have 13 different interviews that have the field experience code. So this is a very strong code and is important to this work because it's seen across a lot of different people. We also have a nice mix of faculty and graduate students, which in this case is really good. Let's go to export, and we're going to export everything for this code. Export ready, download ready. I'm going to put it somewhere, save, download complete. And I clicked on everything. So this has given me everything possible that DeDoose collects. We don't need all of this. But let's go through a couple of things that are interesting. So media title, this is good. This is whatever the document was titled. In this case, these are our transcripts. Start and end for the code, those aren't really that interesting. So these honestly can go away. Excerpt Creator, this is really also very interesting because this is showing which of the three of you were actually coding these excerpts. And we can scroll down and we can see that there are different coders throughout different codes for this group. Keep in mind, it looks like just glancing through that this person coded most of it, this person coded some of it, and we don't even see the third coder until we scroll down. That is not necessarily a bad thing. You have to remember who is coding. Is all three people coding every single document, or are you splitting it to where you only have two coders per document? Just something to consider. Excerpt date, we don't really care when it was actually coded. Excerpt copy, this is vital. So this is another way that you can go through. You can even copy this into Word if you wanted to, and just say these are all of the codes, the excerpts from this transcript. And you can just scroll down and read everything and make sure that every code that you have kept does match your field experience code. I'm saying code a lot, sorry. Resource creator, that's just who created the entire thing. These two aren't really that interesting. Delete those. This might be. So code applied combined. This is every code that this copy had attached to it. So this copy talked about field experience, but it also talked about collaboration, program policies, and emotional affect. This might be interesting, it might not. And I will be honest, the rest of this isn't that helpful for what we're doing here. So I'm just going to delete it just in order to clean up the data and make things a little bit easier. The nice thing about having this in Excel is we can now copy all of it, go to data sort, and I can sort by the title. So I can look across this graduate student and see what is it that they were saying and who is saying it. You can see IRR right here, Inter-Rater Reliability. Both of you coded the same thing. That's really helpful. So that would be a hit. And it looks like here is also a similar thing that they're talking about. So this is one way to look at IRR by person, by code. Another interesting way to consider this is to go back to sort and to sort by who created the excerpt. So when we hit OK, And now everything is sorted by who created it. So again, we can see that this user has coded quite a bit more, as well as this coder has created quite a bit more, compared to that first coder. Has not coded a whole lot for field experience. Again, I pulled this before all of the coding was done. So it could just be that this coder hasn't read this or hasn't focused on this code yet, and it may not be a big deal. It also could be that this coder is reading these, but not reading other documents if you're splitting it up. So this is a really good way to kind of start and look code by code to verify that you agree with that these pieces, these fragments of the transcript match your code of field experience. You can also look across and see that multiple people are talking about this code, and you can compare the coders for some iterator and make sure that everybody's kind of seeing the same thing.